So. Okay, jetzt zuerst. Zuerst lesen wir Sanskrit-Vers von Srimad Bhagavatam, 1. Kanto, 8. Kapitel, 29. Vers. Bitte wiederholen. Naveda kaschid bhagavam chikirsitam. Naveda kaschid bhagavam chikirsitam. Taveha manasya nrinam vidambanam. Taveha manasya nrinam vidambanam. Nayasya kashi daitosti karichi. Nayasya kashi daitosti karichi. Dvesyascha yasmin vishamamatir nrinam. Dvesyascha yasmin vishamamatir nrinam. So I will read straight translation, not word for word. Bitte, bist du bereit? Man muss laut machen. Oh Lord, no one can understand your transcendental pastimes.
Ich möchte das nicht übersetzen, wenn es keiner hört, dann muss ich die Arbeit nicht machen. Hört ihr mich? Nein.
Gar nicht.
Prabhu, kannst du mal anfangen da hinten? Hörst du etwas? Nein. Hörst du etwas? Also dann brauche ich nicht zu übersetzen, wenn keiner was hört. Ich weiß nicht, ob das Ding ist an.
Irina, kannst du sie helfen? Oder?
Hört ihr mich?
Die Geräte sind ausgegangen.
Ich übersetze.
Warte.
Sonst kannst du dich auch hier vorne hinsetzen. Die Geräte sind durcheinander.
Also er hört Russisch.
Meine Welle eigentlich.
Das ist the Babylon, the Tower of the Babylon. They said before, Irina, before the Babylon towers were built, there was one language in the world, and then somehow or other, the Babylon was built. There's so many different languages. So this was the purpose to bewilder people. So we are somehow trying to have a, united nation, but somehow the languages are, different. Anyways, I will read this translation one more time. Oh Lord, no one can understand your transcendental pastimes, which appear to be human and so are misleading. This is just quickly to say about this point here, that Krishna as God, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he does something. He acts like we all acting, and God is also a person, so he is also acting. We are doing things. We go to sleep, we wake up, we speak to people, we interact with other, living beings. So Krishna also, he does all these things. And when he actually descends, as we know, this is called avatar. Krishna descends to this earth. He also does things and sometimes appear as an ordinary human being. And therefore this is misleading. We have all these nice pictures here. Srila Prabhupada, our teacher, he wanted us to paint all these wonderful pastimes or leelas so that people can see that Krishna actually is a person. He did certain things, like here, there are pictures he is eating with his friends. Believe it or not, God is eating. Whatever, he's herding the cows in this other picture. So when one thinks like, what's so special about this God who is serving her? Of course, this is one part of it. There's so many other parts which humans cannot imagine to even do, like lifting a Govardhan hill. Can you lift a hill? Okay, we can herd the cows, but can we lift a hill? Not really. How do you? There's no grip to lift a hill. I don't know. Maybe maybe somebody is expert. Huh? There's some grips and you can lift a hill. It's not possible. And also here with Krishna enjoying with his girlfriends. Every man, he thinks like, wow, Krishna has so many girlfriends. That's pretty nice God. But can you marry 16,108 wives at the same time? Not really. I have not, maybe there's somebody, but so far I have not met anybody who can marry 16,108 wives. Also, beyond this, Krishna enjoys with his girls which are called gopis. Gopis means the cowherd girls. And in one particular pastimes of Krishna, Krishna enjoys with the girls in the dance called rasa dance. And it is said that simultaneously there was over several billion, we're talking billion, not million, gopis, the girls. And Krishna stood simultaneously next to each of the gopis. So that's something else. So therefore, but when we see it oberflächlich, superficially, when we see it, we think, oh, Krishna is like me. He's eating nice. He's has some cows, has some friends, but it could be so misleading. So this is the first part, just an introduction to who God is in one little Vorgeschmack, pre-taste. How do you say this? But the second part, it says here of this verse, you have no specific object of favor, nor do you have any object of envy. So Krishna doesn't favor anybody, he does not envy anybody. People only imagine that you're partial. Because sometimes they say the God of this particular nation is condemning the other nation, and so on and so forth. Or I belong to such and such nation, and God, what is it? God protects my nation only. Imagine there's a border, and he protects this particular border. It makes no sense. And then what happens? The border changes. So God doesn't protect, he protects like a new border, or so actually this says here that God has no favor, and he does not have any objects of envy. And the reason why I chose this verse today is because very soon we will have this festival. Prabhu was speaking very nicely about Jagannath, called Ratha Yatra. Ratha Yatra means the chariot festival of the chariots. Festival of the Chariots started, we spoke yesterday about this, started in 1968 in the Western world. In the India exists since many, many thousands and thousands of years. First time when the British came to India and saw this, they could not believe it, what it is. So even nowadays, in English language, you have the word in a dictionary called Juggernaut. Juggernaut is the word which means something very strange and very dangerous, something scary is a juggernaut. Because they thought there's some black figure on top of the cart and everybody's somehow making huge commotions around this person. So they couldn't understand the British, So they said this is some not good thing. Yes, this is in a dictionary. This is the British who came to India and they saw Juggernaut and they just thought, oh, this is Juggernaut, So nowadays, if you look at dictionary, you can find Juggernaut. I didn't actually look at dictionary now to bring it exactly the meaning. So, actually, let me look at Juggernaut. Juggernaut in dictionary. It can be a force, massive force, campaign, movement, or object that crushes whatever it's on its path. Oh, like some, this monster truck, going and destroying everything. This is Juggernaut. Some object that crushes everything. This is in a dictionary. Merriam-Webster dictionary. So the point here is, actually this is not the fact. The fact is that Jagannath is actually Jagannath. The Sanskrit word Jagannath. Jaga means universe and Nath means the master. He's actually the master of the universe, because Krishna, as God, he exists eternally in the spiritual world. This is his abode, you can say, dwelling. But Krishna also is living in this material world. Sometimes I read this one very humorous expression. There's some, I think part of it, I'm not sure, a Jewish religion, they said that God created this world and then he gets tired and now he's resting. And therefore, because he's resting, this world is in chaos because nobody's to take care of. So because he's resting, he's tired of the creation. But this is actually not so. In the Vedic philosophy, Krishna creates the material world through other agents, and then he also enters there, and he is actually overseeing the whole affair through his various incarnations called Purusha avatars. But we don't want to go too much into this. The point here is, when this Ratha Yatra, God himself once a year goes out of the temple and actually, like this, as he said here, distributes mercy to everybody. So he is not, to show that he is not impartial, he is not partial. Not only this is only for the, this particular religion or this particular temple. In India you have all these wonderful, many thousands of different temples. And Jagannath, God himself, comes out of the temple and takes a stroll in the chariot. And they go maybe 3 kilometers approximately. They carry the Lord in the chariots. These chariots are very huge. They're maybe 16 meters tall. And they're made from, I don't know how many, 40 something, how many thousands of pieces of wood. And every year they put completely new wood. It's not like we ever, here in Germany, our Ratha Yatra, we have recycled vehicle, you can say. We do the chariot for one day, and then this chariot is rented by another temple, and the chariot goes to another temple, then it goes to Austria, then we go to whatever, Belgium. We are recycling the chariot. But in India, in Puri, they actually made from the fresh wood, and this is a whole meditation, particular type of wood, and there's a forest which is only growing the trees for Jagannath's cart. So when the time for Ratha Yatra comes, they're all these big, actually scholars, they come and they see if the trees, you can say, qualified to be part of Jagannath's Yatra, of cart. Because the wood has to be perfect wood and so on and so forth. So once they build this whole thing, they bring the Jagannath and they carry it. And there's no motor, there's no generator or motor in the back of any kind. People are pulling it on some very special ropes. So these ropes, two ropes, one on each side. And you will see when we have our chariot festival, one group of one pulling one rope and another one rope, pulling this huge, humongous vehicle. And this is said to be very, very auspicious. So basically the point is that whoever sees Jagannath's cart, because on the top of the cart is a chakra, is a kind of wheel. Whoever sees the chakra, actually, it is in the Shastras, it said, it becomes liberated from material existence. Not bad, not bad. And whoever pulls the rope, it is also getting so much benefit. And here I will see what is it said. at the moment, I cannot find this quote, which is most amazing. So Lord Jagannath is Mata Smritin Jnana Nupohanam Cha. He gives remembrance, knowledge of forgetfulness. But it said here in this purport of this verse that Krishna, or God, is like a sun. And sun distributes its rays to everybody. And it says to a blind man who cannot see the sun, also he gets the sun. So the point here is that Srila Prabhupada says, the sun rays are open to everyone. So the mercy of God, the benedictions of God are open to everyone. It is the capacity of the receptacles that differ. So it's our own capacity, can we see it or not? Because when we will see, when we have a festival, the Jagannath, the Lord of the universe, is made of wood. So you think, what is this pulling? Like these Britishers who came to India, they're saying, they're pulling piece of wood, black piece of wood, and this is supposed to mean what? But actually, it is described that God can appear in many different materials. Why couldn't he? Why wouldn't he? There was once they asked Srila Prabhupada, if God is everywhere, is God everywhere? He said, yes, God is everywhere. So if God is everywhere, why do I need to go to the temple? You know, God is everywhere. And Srila Prabhupada's answer was, if God is everywhere, why shouldn't he be in the temple? So he's also in the temple. So he can take any form because this is all his, you can say, energy, all his force. So why shouldn't he, or why couldn't he take the form of a wood? The only difference is, as we call it in Christianity, what is it called in Christianity? Idol worship. That God in the Vedic temples are actually, the form of God is described in the scriptures. So it's not like somebody just think, oh, how about if I have God look like this? You know, no, it is described. He looks like this, like this, like this. Like Krishna here, which is description. This is described in many, many, many various literature texts, in Vedic texts, you can say. Krishna holding a flute. He's wearing certain color of garment. He has a certain, eyes or whatever. This is how he looks like. So it's not you can say, speculation. I think there was in history this golden calf. They were worshiping golden calf, idol worship. So they were thinking, why are you worshiping calf? Of course, maybe this was Nandi. We don't know. But for those from India, and he's not golden. But anyways, so the point here is that it's just a different of the receptacle of the person capacity. Can we actually get this? And Prabhupada says, somehow or other, if somebody puts himself open in the sun rays, he's sure to get the requisite benefit, both the heat and ultraviolet lights. So somehow or other, if we put ourselves in front of this sun rays, so therefore this Ratha Yatra is an amazing thing. Many people just of curiosity to see what is this huge chariot thing, colorful, people are dancing. And so many people, sometimes when we go, they follow us. I was just reading yesterday, in the early days in San Francisco, when they had a Ratha Yatra festival in the very, very beginning in the West, 1970, they had up to 10,000 followers. Imagine, because people are wondering, what is this thing in the Golden Gate Park in San Francisco? So the cart was going and everybody was following the cart to see what is this, very interesting. So they said, somehow or other, if anybody comes somehow to this, being exposed to these suns, it gets the benefit. So therefore, the devotees distributing prasadam. Prasadam means food offered to Krishna. So many bananas, fruits, sweets. How many? Like thousands. I remember once we were counting thousands of sweets or cookies. Of course, just one thing. Here in the West, we have our Ratha Yatras are small compared to even Indian Ratha Yatras. And even Ratha Yatras in America, New York, they're very, very huge. There's thousands and thousands of people. Let's see, with thousands of different plates of food and so on and so forth. So, here, the acts of pulling the chariot. So if one pulls the chariot, it's considered to a Vedic sacrifice of yajna. So in India, many people are hiring brahmanas. When now even when you buy a car, they call car puja, which is very funny, I think. I don't know if it is authorized by any shastras to offer car puja. Maybe it is, I don't know. Huh?
It's
Not authorized.
only for it is not accident, it's something.
Yes, but not a car puja. And what to speak of motorcycle? We saw it last time we were in Mappa. Motorcycle, you buy moped and you offer puja. Anyways, but so you invite a priest to actually bless your house. This is called good luck, yes. And then to bless the house is Sacinandana puja, for example. So you invite the priests and they recite some mantras, they do some fire yagya, fire homa, sacrifice. But this pulling is actually considered higher. Just pulling the cart is considered higher than sacrifice. Higher, better. Bolshoi. And he said, every step taken in the service of the Lord accumulates spiritual merit. So every step we follow the cart. You don't even pull, just follow the cart. Every step is accumulated spiritual merit. So this is like an amazing thing, actually. That you don't need to do basically anything except to walk there. And even if you don't walk, just to consider, this is something interesting. So this is because the point is that every matter, this is a matter, wherever we are right now, whatever is connected in the material world is a matter, world of matter, world of atoms. And these all atoms are somehow, we don't want to go into details, clustered together, and then creates a human being, or whatever, the wall, or this. These are all atoms, different atoms which are connected together. So, these atoms are cold and not able to grow, you can say, or not able to be living. But spirit, on the other hand, is a totally different. So if Krishna's God himself as a spirit comes in contact with atoms, these atoms, material, will become benefited. I don't want to go into details now. The reason, I'll just skip to this. So to make it a little more benefit, this is like a basic, you can say, benefits we get just by observing Rath Yatra, just by seeing, just by hearing kirtan, just by appreciating. And the second thing, if you want to make a little more advancement, we have to have a little humility, Demut of Deutsch is that. And Demut means, humility means that we have to accept that this is something higher than me. This is something higher than me, and I should maybe try to hear what that is. Here in the history of Rath Yatra in Puri, there's a Raja, the Puri Raja, king of Puri. He's the king. He comes in front of the cart and he cleans the path with a golden broom. This is the tradition that every king of Puri, once a year for Rath Yatra, comes in front of Jagannath and cleans it so that God himself can have a clean path. So this is very, very nice. So we also have here, we don't have a golden broom, but our broom is colored in a golden color. This is a Kali Yuga, how do you say? Version. Kali Yuga version of the golden broom. We buy a regular broom and color it in a gold. So, and also you don't need to be a king, you can actually clean it yourself. So we know some devotees are very eager to clean, and when you want to say, can I also clean? Say, I want to clean a little more, I want to clean a little more. So we can change the broom, by the way. So, I can clean a little bit and then you can clean after, and so on and so forth. Also, the road is sprinkled with, in Puri, in original Rath Yatra, is sprinkled with scented water. For the Lord, we can pass a nice smell, which is a very nice, I think, tradition. Of course, here in the street of Köln, again, a little bit difficult to sprinkle anything. So sandalwood scented water. Sandalwood smells very nice. So they sprinkle sandalwood water in front on the Lord on the road, so Jagannath can walk. So it is said here on the end, although the king was the most respectable person, still he accepts menial service for the Lord, and therefore he becomes a suitable candidate for receiving the Lord's mercy. So this is the point, that we have to somehow act in certain way to become a suitable candidate. We may receive it, we may not receive it, but at least we are prepared. You know, like you want to go to now is Olympics. If you want to go to Olympics, not everybody can get the gold medal, but at least I'm prepared. So maybe I get it, maybe or not, but at least I'm prepared. So it's a similar. We also we have to somehow be prepared, and then we may receive the mercy of the Lord. So this is the one thing. Second thing is in one of our scriptures, one of our texts, traditional, you can say Vedic, Indian, Hindu text, traditional spiritual and religious text. They said, what is this being ready to be receiving the mercy of the Lord? And this is called Bhakti, or devotional service. We have a thing in Germany, Bhakti Fest. Isn't it Bhakti Fest? Anybody knows? And Bhakti Fest, so all different people who now, the New Age people, the yoga groups, the whatever, esoteric people, Bhakti is a well-known word, and they have a different concept what Bhakti is. But Bhakti in generally, mostly what people think this is a sentiment. You know, I saw one book, they translated Bhakti as love. Mostly they translate Bhakti as love or as sentiment. But as said here, Rupa Goswami actually defines what Bhakti is. He said, the quality of devotional service to Krishna or God is to act favorably for the personality of Godhead. So one has to act favorably. I mean, just it makes sense. You cannot love somebody if you are selfish. I mean, you can say I love you, but if you're selfish, this person will think like, oh yeah, right. You're not really. So, it has to be favorable. You know, if you love a girl and then she hates green color and you said, I bought you green color because I like a green color. So she said, well, thanks a lot. This is not favorable. So it is described that you have to act favorably. Favorably, for example, the Hare Krishna movement, we are vegetarians. We are not vegans, we are vegetarians. And the reason for this is that Krishna, as we picture here, he likes to herd cows. And cows give milk. And therefore, to Krishna to offer milk is a favorable devotional service. Although, of course, we don't want to put the whole, abuse and this and that, but vegans are right in 100%. But the point is that although they are right and everything, we have to offer to Krishna milk. And therefore, in our temples, in our farms, we have cows. And therefore, from these cows, we offer Krishna milk. Because this is favorable to Krishna, for example.
What is favorable?
Günstig. Huh?
He likes it.
Yes, he likes it. Like, for example, Krishna likes that we chant Hare Krishna mantra. So we chant Hare Krishna mantra. We could chant some other song, but Krishna may not like this song. Krishna likes the mantra, the Hare Krishna mantra. So we chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Before I joined the Hare Krishna movement, I had no idea, that I will one day sit and chant Hare Krishna mantra, be known as Hare Krishna. I just thought, I read this philosophy and I thought this is very nice and very interesting and I would like to do this. And then I asked, what can I do? And they said, you become vegetarian. I was a vegetarian. I could not, this was not my interest to be vegetarian, especially in the early 90s. Vegetarian? I don't know, maybe in Germany it was more. Vegetarian, you were thinking like, who are these crazy people, vegetarians, I never met any vegetarian in my life, and I traveled quite a bit. I never met a single vegetarian in 1980s, late 80s. I came in Krishna consciousness 89 or something, 88, 89. I could never But then they said, we are vegetarians. I said, really? What is that? I remember seeing on TV a Zendung, a series. There was some group, vegetarians, and they were sitting in the forest, and there was the table. They were eating some strange things. I was like, well, what are they eating? Leaves, So I thought, this is so strange, vegetarian. But I became vegetarian. So many years. I chant Hare Krishna. So many years. I shave my head. So many years. Because this is favorable to Krishna. I'm wearing this, sometimes people are wondering, what is this, bed sheet, or they don't know exactly. Yes, I'm wearing this because it's very favorable. Favorable. How many times we are like, you walk in all this flowing, and sometimes I get on a doorknob, and think, man, but it's favorable to Krishna. So this is Rupa Goswami said, superior quality of devotional service. And this is this interesting point that Prabhupada says that this is called service. It's not only sentiment, So like I was in America some years ago, and I was distributing books on the street. And then, you meet especially the black small ladies, and they're all very religious, the small black ladies. Small, I don't call them small, but usually older ladies. And I said, man, this book is about God. And she said, oh, God, I love God. So I was thinking this. And I said, yeah, just take a book. So the point is that the people think, I love God, but this is a nice sentiment, but you actually have to do something also about this. Like you can say, I love this girl, I like this boy, I really love him. And I said, and if you ask him, well, do you do anything for him? Not really. So this is not complete exchange. So therefore, we do all these things, and we call it devotional service. So this is what we do when we do Ratha Yatra, the procession, the chariot procession. We actually do devotional service. We take the God, Krishna's form, out of the temple. We put him on the cart. In some temples, big temples, in Los Angeles, for example, they hire a limousine. This limousine, the 20 meters tall car, and each get one. Jagannath get one, Baladev, and Subhadra get also one. So each get a limousine. It's pretty cool. They take them from the temple, and they drive them to the place where the procession is supposed to start. In some other places, not so opulent, but still, God is taken out from the temple and then brought out. And then, we had yesterday this meeting in the temple, pre-Ratha Yatra meeting. What are we doing? Who is organizing the electricity? Who is organizing the garbage collection? Who is, these are all apparently, as this verse says here, material activity looks like ordinary things, but actually they are not ordinary because they are favorable towards service of God, of Jagannath. And another very important thing is that this Ratha Yatra, what we perform here in the West, is not different from the pastime of the Lord, eternal pastimes of the Lord. I will read this one, just a little text from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Prabhupada said, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this is the incarnation, avatar of Krishna, incarnation of Krishna, wanted to preach the Sankirtan movement of love of Krishna throughout the entire world. He's an avatar 500 years ago. His desire to spread Krishna consciousness all over the world. And during this presence, he inspired the Sankirtan movement. So we know in Bengal, he appeared in Bengal, and Bengal was, we can say, flooded with the Sankirtan, the chanting of the Hare Krishna. But this was it, this was contained within the area of Bengal, maybe a little bit outside, and that's about it. Then he said, Lord Chaitanya empowered certain devotees to spread, and he personally himself went to South India. And now listen to this. In this way, he, Lord Chaitanya, kindly left the task of preaching his cult in the rest of the world to the International Society for Krishna consciousness. So Lord Chaitanya was merciful enough. Otherwise, he could have, distribute love of God to the whole world, but he left it for the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. For those who are devotees, he did not say, I left, Prabhupada did not write, he left it to me. He left it preaching to me. But Prabhupada said, he left it to the members of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. So all of us here, smaller and bigger group and wider community, if we consider ourselves a little bit even members of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, this is a special gift of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He left it up to us to also do this. So in this way we are indirectly or directly participating in the pastimes or Leela of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Jagannath. Even we, insignificant we. This is because ISKCON, International Society for Krishna Consciousness, is a part of Lord Chaitanya's tree. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, in the very important book in our line, there's a description of the Lord Chaitanya's tree. The incarnation of Krishna is like a tree. This is figuratively, of course. And then Lord Chaitanya is the main tree, he's a tree trunk, and from him there come different branches, Nityananda Prabhu, Advaita, Srivas, and many, many, many other devotees we can read in the Chaitanya Charitamrita 3rd chapter. And Prabhupada says here, in one of the purports, our International Society for Krishna Consciousness is one of the branches of Chaitanya tree. So we are also a branch of the Lord Chaitanya's tree, which is amazing. So if we have this meditation, we actually participating directly in the Lord Chaitanya's pastimes. Lord Chaitanya's. So ISKCON is one of the branches, and it should therefore be respected by all sincere devotees of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this is a little bit more about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is about the Ratha Yatra also. Ratha Yatra, of course, we can speak much more, but I spoke this time more about the, you can say, external aspect, practical aspect. What does it mean? What does Ratha Yatra actually mean? How everybody can get benefited, and why people are getting benefited. Also, a little more philosophy is that there's also internal reason, more spiritual reason, and we cannot speak, it's already time that I cannot speak too much. Maybe next time we can speak more about the internal reasons of the Ratha Yatra. Internal, you can say, reasons, yes. So, therefore, whoever here in this room and whoever is watching this right now or later on, participate somehow, we understand that we actually, ISKCON is also part of Lord Chaitanya's tree, and this Ratha Yatra is so beneficial, not only for those who see it and for those who get a banana, whatever the fruit or prasadam we get plate of food also. There, Prabhupada actually said, I was just reading, the Prabhupada said in several occasions for the Ratha Yatra, Prabhupada said kitri should be cooked. I don't know what was the plan to cook for Ratha Yatra, but Prabhupada says kitri. Of course, maybe one of the things. Because Jagannath, actually this is Jagannath's favorite food. There's a song by Bhakti Thakur, song about glorifying kitri, prasad. You know this song?
There's also a favorite famous saint, Kamabai. She was a devotee of Krishna. There's a pastime related. With Jagannath, he wanted kitri. And this is still cooked.
Yes. If you go to Jagannath Puri, kitri is cooked every day. Kitri means dal and rice mixed together, sometimes vegetables, but kitri. It's written K-I-C-H-D-I. Kitri.
All vegetable, dal and rice.
Yes. This is all put together. So this is Jagannath's favorite food. So we cook this for Ratha Yatra, distribute to the people. And then not just this, whoever gets this blessing, it's nice, but we ourselves can become a little more receptive to the sun rays of the spiritual sky. And by becoming a little more humble, so don't think that I am the Lord, as Prabhupada says, I am the Lord of all I survey. Whatever I see, this is all my. This is, although we rent a room and or rent an apartment, so my 60 square meters is I am the Lord here. This lordship is not not exactly glorious. So therefore, we should recognize that there's actually higher lordship than me, and try to somehow engage in the devotional service. Bhakti, this sentiment is very nice, but acting on this sentiment is even better. And at the same time, while acting, we should understand this high understanding. By doing this, although seemingly ordinary thing, like cutting vegetables in the kitchen for 2 hours, and we think, oh, this is just cutting vegetables. But actually, we are cutting vegetables to support the pastime of the Lord of the universe. So this is all auspicious festival, and we all hope to participate somehow or other in our own ways, and to get ourselves benefit and to the whole world. So I thank you very much for your attention. Ich bedanke mich. 3-mal einatmen. And think, do you have any question for what I just said? Yes. Okay, she said, I have a question. The Srimad Bhagavatam, this verse, she has a question from this verse.
Шрила Прабхупада говорит, что ты не питаешь ни особого пристрастия, ни приязни.
Maybe, yeah, exactly. Maybe you can take the mic.
Srila Prabhupada is saying in this paragraph that Krishna
is not partial.
Is not partial to anybody.
Yes.
In Nectar of Devotion, in 10th chapter,
Кришна говорит, что из всех гопи Кришна больше всего любит Шримати Радхарани и ее Кунду озера.
Krishna said that from all gopis, he's mostly like inclined love
To Srimati Radharani.
Radharani and Radharani.
Как мы попасть в иллюзию того, что в первом варианте мы можем в теорию имперсонализма безличного, да, есть, перевести безличной философии, что он пристрастен. Конечно, мы все родные.
So how not to how to say, not to go fall into the trap of impersonalism, that when we try to perceive everybody like equal in the equal way.
Yeah, I understand. I understand, yes. Yes.
And actually, the second example shows us that he is partial.
Yes, I understand. Okay, everybody understood the question, more or less. The answer is given by Srila Veerabhahu Prabhu. Once I asked a similar question when I was in Caracas. And Srila Veerabhahu Prabhu is a very senior devotee in our movement, spiritual master, Grihasta. And he said I asked a similar question. So he said, actually, Krishna consciousness can be perceived from 2 different angles. One is a tattva. Tattva means like a philosophy, and one is a rasa. And rasa is a sentiment. So, for example, if you say that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna is God, this is tattva. But when you say the gopis, they love Krishna, this is rasa. So it can be perceived differently. So if you say the Krishna is not partial, samoham sarabhuteshu, the Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, I am not partial. This is tattva. This is how you look from the philosophical point of view. But from rasa, Krishna loves Radharani the most. So this is It's a different perception from two different angles. Noch was? Anything else? Of course, there's more to speak about this, but this is like in general answer. So anyways, though, we'll see us at the Ratha Yatra. Of course, we'll see us a few more weeks now, but we'll see us at the Ratha Yatra festival. And it's wonderful, wonderful. I mean, the Ratha Yatra is an amazing thing. I went to different Ratha Yatras in my life, my 30-something years. From the huge Ratha Yatras to, from LA Ratha Yatra, 3 huge chariots with, again, a limousine and huge thing, you know, to the small Ratha Yatras. Our Ratha Yatra, like in Bulgaria, there was very small Ratha Yatra. The cart is maybe 2.5 meters, 3 meters cart, but everything was ecstatic. You know, people were always wondering, what is this? Wherever we do, wherever we go. Now, of course, the cart in Bulgaria is bigger, but at that time it was very small. And even so, Srila Prabhupada, our own Srila Prabhupada, did Ratha Yatra when he was 6 years old. His parents made a small cart, and he pulled this small cart with his friends in front of the house. Jagannath Baladev Subhadra.
It is a tradition in India. Is small and Ratha Yatra. Everybody.
Yes, the children are doing Ratha Yatra. We have one Ratha Yatra in Simachalam. You know, I don't know anymore, but when we were there, there's the children Ratha Yatra. So all the devotees, small children from Czech and from German, they come and they made the Ratha Yatra. They clean it. All done by children. They wash it, they clean it, they put Jagannath, everything. They decorate. All the children, 5, 6, 7 years old. So this is really, they make one round, you know, they carry. And in our temple in Wiesbaden, we have called Palak Yatra. They don't have a chariot, but they say Palaki, the how you call this? Huh? Zemfte. We carry this on the shoulders. We carry Jagannath Baladev Subhadra on the shoulders. So there's a different kinds of, you can say, variations of it, but they're all wonderful. They're all wonderful. Okay, Hare Krishna. Thank you. Now we go to the next. Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.